everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are all doing really well. In today's video, I want to talk about investing into handbags. If you're interested in finding out more, then please keep watching. Firstly, handbags. It's something that I'm truly passionate about. I've been eyeing a few luxury items that are on my wish list for this year, and I hope to finalize those purchases this year, but fingers crossed. Now, let's talk about handbags being an investment piece. So we usually tend to hear people saying that, they buy handbags, and the way that they justify the expensive price tag is that they say that it's an investment piece. I mean, personally, who am I to judge? I've done the same thing before as well. It's all really done just to make ourselves feel better, right? But let me tell you, are handbags actually investment pieces? It can be both. Let me tell you why. So to begin with, let's start by defining what an investment actually is. So an investment is an asset or item acquired with the goal of generating income or appreciation. Appreciation refers to an increase in the value of an asset over time. When an individual purchases a good as an investment, the intent is not to consume the good, but rather to use it in the future to create wealth. Now, let's talk about Chanel handbags, because that is a hot topic, and it has been a hot topic for many years. Now, if you were to consider your Chanel handbag to be an investment piece, one, just to preserve its value, you may not want to actually use your Chanel handbag, but then again, what's the fun? And secondly, there is actually a very big secondary market for Chanel handbags as well within the pre-loved market. So at most times, in fact, you are able to get the same value for your handbag, if not more, since when you purchased it. Now, of course, for you to justify your Chanel handbag, or any other bag for that matter, as an investment piece, it has to be sold at some point. Now, we all know that, once you buy a luxury item, you become attached to it and you really don't want to part ways with it. And it technically becomes a hand-me-down for future generations. But when you're purchasing that handbag in that moment to justify it to your partner, your boyfriend, your sister, you say that it's an investment piece. So, as mentioned earlier, I do have the intentions of purchasing a bag this year. I'm not sure which one. I am tossing up between two, but the one that really sort of catches my eye, it's a classic piece. I'm a classic girl. I love my timeless pieces, and for that reason, my eye has been drawn towards the classic medium flap Chanel handbag. Now, it's not a cheap handbag, let me tell you that. I'm sure you guys are all aware of it as well. And for that reason, I've got a few hesitations. So let me tell you what they are. Now, I'm going to bring up a news article here. So a news article detailed in a Bloomberg report that Chanel had increased worldwide prices on some of its bags by nearly 2/3 since late 2019. For example, data put together by an analyst showed that since November 2019, the price of one bag model, the small classic flap bag, has jumped about 60% to its current price of $8,200. That percentage is representative of the overall increase in Chanel's bag prices. There you go. So prices for Chanel handbags, not only Chanel, but Hermes, Dior, Louis Vuitton, we have seen prices skyrocket, especially over the last few years. The number of price increases that have occurred, especially for Chanel, have just been through the roof. We had seen a price increase early this year in March, but then we had also seen one late last year in about November, December as well. So in a period of about 6 months, we've seen 2 price increases, which is absolutely crazy. So as you can see on the screen, we've got a medium classic flap bag, and this is the price over the years. Now, of course, these prices are in US dollars. So as we can see, in 1990, the price of a Chanel was about $1,100 US dollars. And as we can see in 2021, it's about $8,000, and that's US prices. We can see that the price of Chanel continually keeps on increasing and almost becomes out of a lot of people's reaches. As you can see, there are many comparison articles, as this is a hot topic, talking about the price increases for Chanel. So let's actually talk about the overall price increase since Chanel actually launched in 1990. So when it launched for the first time, the selling price was about $220 US, of course. but when it first sold, it was worth about $1,150 in 1990. So let's do a little bit of maths here and calculate the overall percentage increase since then. So if we have a look at the price of Chanel at the moment in 2022, I'm going to take US prices. We are seeing that the medium classic flat bag, which is one of their most popular bags, retails for about $9,700 US. That's about 13,880 Australian dollars. Crazy, I know. So in order to calculate the percentage increase over the years, we're going to take the current price, minus it by the old price or the initial price, and divide that by the original price and times that by 100. So what we do is 9,700 minus 1,100 over 1,100 times 100 is 782%. Now, given we're calculating over a 32-year period, I want to see how much the average annual increase has been. So if we divide 782% over 32 years, we can see that the average annual price increase for Chanel handbags is about 24.4% each year. Now that number is absolutely insane. A lot of us would argue that what's the point of investing into assets, into financial assets, when you can actually just invest your money into handbags? I don't see why not. So let's compare some of the average returns for investments or financial investments compared to handbags. Now we all know that the average return for ETFs, give or take, is about 6 to 7% annually. If we compare this to real estate, we know that this is, if you've bought in a great area, the growth rates are typically around the 20% mark. And this information is according to Commonwealth Bank. Of course, in some years this can be more, of course it can be less as well, but just as a ballpark figure for you guys, of course this is not financial advice, we can see that Chanel handbags outweighed and outperformed the return compared to financial assets. It's a pretty interesting statistic to look at if you ask me. I'm pretty sure that we're going to see an increase in the price of luxury brands from these designers because, let's face it, inflation is increasing, the price of everything is increasing. So I believe that yes, it may have something to do with inflation, but then again, I also think that these brands are trying to portray a level of exclusivity just so that ordinary people or common people are not able to, get their foot through the door and are priced out. So what does this mean for me? Will I still purchase the Chanel handbag? Personally for me, I need to be able to justify the price of the handbag. Of course, it's very expensive. So for me last year, I was actually in a position that I was comfortable paying the price that it was last year. It was about $12,000 and I was comfortable with that. I was looking forward to purchasing the handbag at that price. I was just saving a little bit more money just to make myself feel comfortable and not so guilty about the purchase. But then coming towards the end of the year, we saw that there was a price increase and that really just put me off. Since then, I've been watching lots of review videos and seeing the reviews that people have about the Chanel handbag and saying that the quality has obviously decreased over time. And not only that, but Chanel also used to use actual gold hardware on their handbags and they've actually stopped doing that. So, I mean, there's an increase in price, but if the quality is not really matching up to it, it's really going to make me consider. Now, fast forward a few years, obviously the price of the Chanel handbag is now about 13,800 Australian dollars. So personally for me, I feel like I need to just work a little bit harder. The fact that I'm hesitating to make a purchase of that amount, it just means I'm not ready. So personally for me, I need to do the calculations in my head, make sure I'm making the right purchase. And what's interesting is that there is possibly another contender on the block as well. So given I've had so much time to think about this, I've actually found another bag that I really do like, and it's called the flap bag with the top handle. I'll insert an image on the screen as well so you can see. This is something that I recently fell in love with and is about $3,500 cheaper than the classic medium flap bag. At the end of the day, if you can afford it and you don't feel guilty about it, then go for it. I'm just not there yet. And I'm pretty sure that the people who have purchased luxury items in the past have also not been in that position either, but have been sort of pressurized by society perhaps. And yes, it may have worked in their favor because of the price increase. But then again, are you going to be selling this bag as an investment? If not, then is it really worth it? So if you want to find out whether I purchased the bag this year or not, and which one I do actually purchase, then be sure to follow me over on my socials on TikTok TikTok and Instagram. I'll leave them up below. And those are my thoughts on handbags and using them as investment pieces. I really hope you enjoyed this kind of video. It's a little bit different from my channel. Definitely would love to know what other videos you'd like to see from me, so leave them down below in the comment section, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Thanks guys.